If so, I need to be addressed because I hold the cards. So
Not great. But what
The Warriors, we played together. We actually played real team basketball for us to win. We made shots, you know what I'm saying? We could shoot the ball efficiently. So it worked out perfectly. I think it was just the perfect move.
Sneaky significant move yesterday as the Suns exchanged their 2031 pick for 3 Jazz first-rounders. They're gearing up for Jimmy Butler, which we'll delve into, but the most cringeworthy NBA interview of the year occurred in the Suns' locker room. Reporters inquired about a trade with Bradley Beal, who responded, "I haven't heard anything, but it needs to be addressed since I hold the cards." Not the best response, but what's wild is that Kevin Durant actually has the cards in Phoenix. Last year, this trio was the most formidable in the NBA, yet they crumbled in the postseason with a 106.8 offensive rating, the same as the bottom-ranked injured Grizzlies. Why? Because they faced the top defense, the Timberwolves, who exposed their weaknesses. This year seems worse. Phoenix gets overwhelmed each time they play a top team again. Kevin Durant certainly doesn't want to spend his career on a non-competitive team. That's why he joined Phoenix initially. Last offseason, he declined a $6 million extension, but if he waits until this summer, it could be $124 million, making it a logical choice. But what if he says no? Have you noticed the Suns recently? They faced the battered Cavs without Evan Mobley or Karis LeVert and lost by double digits, another potential first-round exit. KD might leave, and even Stephen A. Smith, who knows Durant well, mentioned that Kevin Durant isn't too enthusiastic about staying in Phoenix. He's not asking for a trade just yet, but he would be okay with leaving. So, what lies ahead for Kevin Durant, who may have only one peak season left, given the multitude of NBA games? Texas, California, and Florida feature champions, but always remember to use the promo code MHOOPS. In December 2022, owner Matt Ishbia purchased the Suns for $4 billion, just a year before their 20-point lead in the finals against the Bucks with players like Booker, C3, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and DeAndre Ayton. However, the owner quickly traded Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and 4 unprotected first-round picks for Kevin Durant, stating it wasn't a risk at all, despite trading for a 34-year-old recovering from an Achilles injury. The true risk emerged about 2 months later when the concept of the second apron arose, hindering their prospects for a sustainable basketball team. He later traded multiple pick swaps for Bradley Beal to assemble a Big Three, but Big Threes are less prevalent in the NBA now. Contenders like OKC and Denver are more organic and patient, like the Rockets, Magic, and Cleveland Cavaliers. The Suns find themselves in 10th place, possessing the highest payroll in NBA history. How can they be this underwhelming with 2 Hall of Famers? Firstly, their overall defense is abysmal, ranking 23 RD in the league, specifically in rim protection. Also, 23 road teams can score effortlessly in the paint against them. Rebounding is another significant issue, resulting in extra possessions for their opponents to exploit. However, the most alarming statistic for Phoenix is that the 3 best lineups in the NBA hail from Minnesota, Boston, and Indiana, showcasing massive point differentials when they take the court, utterly dominating. In contrast, the 3 poorest lineups include Phoenix, Portland, and the Wizards. Notably, those are the Phoenix starters, Tyus Jones, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Jusuf Nurkic. This explains why Beal and Nurkic were benched. Isn't that the primary concept for the Suns? Sure, they lack depth and can't pursue many trades, but their starters should overwhelm opponents. Yet, they sit 3rd worst in the league. What's the purpose of this team? Consequently, one must consider why not trade KD now. Will they be closer to capturing a championship with him at 37 or 38 years old than they are today? If the answer is no, what are they waiting for? Jimmy Butler could potentially revive the entire project. However, how can a team under the second apron execute such a significant trade? The rules stipulate that they cannot send more than 1 player at a time, and that player must earn equal to or more than. The only player comparable to Jimmy Butler would be Bradley Beal, and a recent report indicates he is willing to waive his no-trade clause for the right circumstances. What does this mean? Clearly, he prefers the Miami Heat, but they are hesitant to absorb his hefty contract. The Suns have just 2 weeks to resolve this situation before the trade deadline. They need to locate a third team willing to acquire Beal and send desired assets to Miami, which may include those new Jazz picks, although it's a challenging endeavor. So, what's next? Most likely, they will compete for the 10th seed and face a quick exit in the first round, and KD isn't likely to stay for that. So, where do they turn? I believe 3 teams truly make sense for KD. The first is Golden State. If you think he wouldn't go back there, did you hear KD discussing the Warriors recently? He seems to miss them. He mentioned their teamwork, saying, "We played real team basketball and made shots." He feels it was a perfect fit and is thankful for that opportunity, meaning a potential trade could send Kevin Durant to the Warriors, while the Suns would acquire Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, Gary Payton II, Kevin Looney, and 2 first-round picks. This would give the Suns both depth and future picks, and KD provides the necessary size and scoring to complement Steph. However, there's an even more intriguing possibility. What if he returned to the Oklahoma City Thunder, right where it all began? Yes, the San Antonio Spurs are their franchise, but they are a team that prioritizes teamwork and could potentially embrace a star like Kevin Durant. Many fans would be excited to witness this, but how feasible is this scenario? Clearly, the Oklahoma City Thunder possess a plethora of draft picks to offer, yet what else will they gain from this deal? The Thunder would acquire Durant, while the Suns would receive Isaiah Hartenstein, Isaiah Joe, and 4 first-round picks, 2 linked to Isaiah, and 4 picks. It's clear that Oklahoma City values Hartenstein, but Durant's height is a significant factor. The main issue is that many of those picks are protected, and it seems unlikely that OKC would make such a bold move after developing their team organically for years. Thus, the best fit appears to be the Houston Rockets. They may not align with Durant's timeline, but there's a way to acquire him without sacrificing their young talent. When Houston sent their picks back to Brooklyn this summer, they acquired 3 assets from the Suns: the 2025 first-round swap, the unprotected 2027 first-round pick, and the protected 2029 pick. Moreover, reports indicate Houston's desire to trade for Durant, a pursuit made simpler by their ability to return the Suns' picks. However, why wouldn't they go after Devin Booker instead? While they would like him, Booker is under contract for 3 more seasons, meaning it's not solely their decision. Durant could be both available and serve as the transformative piece for the Rockets, especially following the Nets' decision to bring in Steve Nash. You know who KD's top pick for his next head coach was? Ime Udoka, who is currently coaching Houston. His assistant is Royal Ivey, a friend KD met in his teenage years, and they are often labeled as best friends. So, what if all it took for Phoenix to unload Fred VanVleet, Jeff Green, and those assets was KD? The Suns would receive picks to help their rebuild, while Houston gains Durant to contend for titles over the next couple of years, allowing their young players to gain valuable playoff experience until KD hangs up his sneakers. Trust me, the Suns are heading for a significant downturn, and once Durant declines an extension this summer, it will create the biggest buzz in the NBA. It's only a matter of time before discussions around these trades intensify, but the last major trade was Karl Anthony Towns to the Knicks, which was viewed as a B-plus deal for Minnesota. Despite having the top lineup in the NBA, the team is currently rated as an F-, and Anthony Edwards is becoming increasingly frustrated.